Oh my god, I just ate quads yesterday and my quads are so bad. Hi! It's currently too late. It's 12:30 at night and I drank too much coffee today. So here I am making a little YouTube video again. I hope you guys are doing well. I don't really have an introduction for this, so I feel like I'm just gonna jump right in. I want to talk about something that I don't see a lot of people talking about. I feel like everyone loves the glow up, the discipline, the confidence. We like to share self-growth as this kind of aesthetic transformation. It's not. I feel like we rarely talk about the transition from who you were to who you're becoming. The part that feels sometimes messy, confusing, lonely, honestly, just kind of exhausting at some point. But I feel like one truth that we often forget is it feels heavy because you're outgrowing your past self. I've been there too, and I feel like talking in the past right now kind of feels... No, but it does feel messy sometimes, and it feels lonely, and it doesn't always feel good. We always share the part that make it seems like it's that beautiful journey. Girl, come on. Can we stop lying to ourselves? Self-growth is kind of this roller coaster. Sometimes you're on top of things, and sometimes you're like, what is going on? And the more I grow, the more I'm realizing that this part doesn't really end. Some seasons feel effortless and some seasons feel miserable. Sometimes you feel locked in, unstoppable. And other times you fall back into old patterns and you're like, wow, we're here again? But that's one side of self-growth. It's like the backstage of becoming better. It's the part that people rarely show because it's not that cute. So why would you talk about this on the internet? Well, I got you. I'm gonna take one for the team. It's most often doubts, discomfort, and internal battles. Self-growth isn't always pretty. Most of the time, it's not. At some point, it gets pretty. I'm not saying you're doing this to be sad all the time, and that's not it. But there will be times where you're like, why doesn't this feel good? I'm evolving, I'm changing. Stick with me now. It can feel heavy, and I feel like it's supposed to. I read something the other day that said, and I don't want to mess this up, when a butterfly transforms, it has to fight its way out of the cocoon. Something like that. Probably more poetic, but we gonna have to work with what we have. And that stuck with me. It kind of shows that everything that evolves has to go through pressure. When you think about it, metal gets shaped in fire. Diamonds literally form under pressure. Muscle grow by tearing and rebuilding. Why should we have it any different? I'm comparing us to metal and diamonds, but you get what I'm saying? I feel like we can't grow without the discomfort, heal without feeling, or even being transformed without being challenged. And honestly, would it even be fun? We got it all figured out? Nah. Growth, I'm gonna mess this up. Growth requires leaving the familiar part behind and trusting and choosing the future version of yourself that you haven't met yet, that doesn't exist yet. And that takes emotional, mental, and spiritual strength. And guess what? That can get heavy. The heaviness you might feel, it's not random. It's your old self being tested, stretched, and reshaped, basically. And what we often forget is growth often means letting go of things. And I know we don't like it. We want to stay in our little bubble. For example, old habits, old fears, old coping mechanism, old relationships. And that part is really important. And I'm going to talk about it in another video. But this part is really important. So important. Choose your circle wisely. And old versions of yourself that kept you stuck, even if those versions of you weren't good for you, they were familiar. And familiarity feels safe. Even when it holds you back. We're like, I'm kind of chilling over here. You're not chilling, folk. You're not chilling. Even if that version is holding you back from your full potential. And that's why growth might feel exhausting. Some days feel heavy and emotionally draining. I'm not saying all the time, but there will be those moments where you're like, why am I feeling like this? If I'm moving towards my higher self, my best self, the best version of myself, why am I feeling like this? If this is supposed to be a good thing for me. Because if you look at it, what you're really doing is fighting, healing, and stepping away from your old self. You're learning to release what no longer serves you so you can step fully into the person you're becoming. And growth isn't just about adding new habits, adding a new lifestyle, new hobbies, new friends. It's also about letting go of what no longer serves you. Friendships that no longer serves you. Habits that no longer serves you. Values that no longer serves you. Hobbies that no longer serves you. If only my 20-year-old self knew what was happening right now, she wouldn't believe it. To tell you how much stuff I had to let go. And there's still a lot more to do. The work isn't done. But I feel like the progress that has been made is incredible. But it was hard. It wasn't easy. I would be lying to you if I said I didn't cry in my bed till 3 a.m. reading my Bible, asking God, when is this gonna start to feel right? And it will. I promise you it will. But we don't talk enough about this. It's not always fun, and it's not always this happy journey, and you're learning so much about yourself, and you're creating this relationship with God, and it feels so amazing. Yes, but also no. And we gotta keep it real. And so I'm keeping it real. If someone has to do it, might as well be me. I want to put emphasis. Is that a word? I want to emphasize. No, that's French. I want to make it clear that it gets better. And it is fun. And it is amazing. And I do love this journey. And I love that relationship that I'm creating with God and that God is creating with me. Of course I'm doing good, but we all have those days. And I feel like being in this place kind of reflects that you're letting go of other stuff. You're not taking it for granted anymore that you need to change. You're actually doing it. And so doing the change, it feels hard. People be struggling. But it doesn't mean that you're not going into the right direction. And it doesn't mean that you need to stop those efforts that you're doing. Growing, and sometimes it means feeling like. Another distinction that I want to make is sometimes God makes things feel uncomfortable. So you stop trying to fit back into a place that He's trying to put you out of. You're not losing yourself. You're just growing out of a space that you're not meant to stay in. And this can show up in so many ways. Your career, your friendships, your relationships, your lifestyle, your environment, so many things. The places you go, the habits you have, and the people that you spend time with no longer fit the life that you're trying to have. And that sucks. It can be little things, even the way that you express yourself with your clothes, for example. I used to want to be this baddie and dress all, you know what baddie things are. Look at me now, bro. This is my mom's shirt. Do I? Because I started to feel uncomfortable with the teeny tops that we could see all my boobies. I felt uncomfortable. I was like, this is not me. Felt like convicted to change. And now I dress like a grandma. And at the time, the way that I dress made me feel powerful. And I'm not shaming anyone by this. I'm talking about me, my story. When I started getting into Jesus and when he really touched my heart, I was looking at my tops and was like, bro, I cannot wear this. What am I doing? I had to get rid of my entire wardrobe because I didn't feel comfortable in any of the stuff that I owned, that I used to be comfortable in. And that's just an example. And when I started dressing more modestly, I guess, I was like, but I'm not this bad anymore, and I'm not. The eyes of the world, in the eyes of society, I'm not this baddie anymore, and I'm not attractive anymore because I dress like a 50-year-old. And so it was hard to do that change because now I cannot relate on the way I dress to feel confident. Well, I can still dress nice even though I don't show my belly. But at first, it was hard to do that change because I was like, it's been years and years since I've done the cute outfits, blah, and that I gave myself power through that. And then I had to change because I felt convicted to. And it felt uncomfortable. But I'm so glad I'm wearing my comfortable clothes and stuff. I wouldn't change it any other way. If you see me in a tank top ever again, bruh, I got a concussion. Sometimes you'll try to do the same thing that you used to, and it won't feel comfortable anymore because you gotta change. The discomfort is God calling you away. It's God guiding you towards the change that you need to make. It's a signal that certain things don't serve the person that you're trying to become. And this process isn't easy. It's moving from one extreme to another, letting go of what you relied on, stepping into a new you, and that can be challenging. But listening to that discomfort and making the necessary changes is essential for growth. And so that heaviness that you might be feeling, it's the weight of becoming. It's that quiet in-between moment before the breakthrough. It's the space where the old you and the new you meets, and sometimes it clashes, and that's normal. And so growth might hurt even when it's good for you. Ta-da! Letting go hurts. Healing hurts. Sometimes facing emotions that you haven't faced for years. And all of a sudden, hello! Changing hurts because the comfort of the familiar feels safer than the unknown. But you know what? Staying in the same place hurts too. And even more, it's just in a different way and for a different purpose. Staying stuck chips away at your potential, at your happiness, at your peace. And if you're breaking down right now, I want to make it clear for you, you're breaking through. And this heaviness is proof that you're growing, that something inside you is growing. And when you look back one day, you'll see that this tension and struggle prepared you for the life that you were supposed to live. And so I want to reassure you that on the other side of this season, you'll be able to take a big breath. On the other side of it is clarity, is discipline, peace, and a stronger sense of identity. It's so great, but you gotta face it first, or else you won't be able to rewarded from all that effort. And the breakthrough is not gonna happen overnight. And if it does, bro, props to you, but it probably won't. And it also might not look like you expected it to look. And that's fine. Sometimes it's subtle, it starts subtle, sometimes it's not so subtle, and sometimes it's very subtle. But there is change. A kind of quiet new confidence of who you are, a new mindset, a healthier boundary. So much things just changes. I need to go to sleep. Every step you take through heaviness, through every struggle, has been preparing you for this new season. Your future self is just waiting for you to keep going. And that version is wiser and stronger and aligned with the life that God planned for you. And it feels so much better. Put in the work. It's sad, blah, but girl, it's necessary. And so remember that you're becoming, and that is such a beautiful process, but it is not an easy one. And if anyone tells you, oh, you'll see, it's not that bad, well, you haven't grown that much. Or you might have, but please don't lie to people. It's not always easy. And I don't think it would be fun if it was not difficult. We need a little struggle, but just a little is fine, God. And so I guess my final message would be keep going, even if it feels uncomfortable, even when it's slow, and most importantly, even when nobody sees it. You and God are the only one that needs to see it. And I keep saying, God is gonna walk with you in every step of the way. I keep saying, you're not doing this alone, but that doesn't mean that it won't be heavy sometimes. And so, you're outgrowing your old self, and that's something to be proud of. I'm going to sleep. And so, thank you so much for staying and listening to my video. I hope that you guys liked it. Remember to be happy and praise the Lord. God bless you all. We'll see each other in another video. Kiss it. Ouch, my quads.